What's up, everyone? How you guys and gals doing? Welcome to the show. Iron Horseman, cold-blooded killer, back in the spotlight. Well, you know what? This is the most untrue story that I have ever seen in the media when it comes to a motorcycle club. This is totally false. The motorcycle club had nothing to do with this, and I don't know what club would have anything to do with a guy like this, but it's unfortunate that you have a prosecutor that is still throwing this at the Iron Horsemen when you know damn well they wouldn't approve of any of this type of stuff. I don't even care if it was in the 1970s. They would have never approved of this. It's sickening, if you ask me, that they were actually on camera saying this type of stuff. And this is the problem that clubs have in the media. They're always they're like punching bags because the media knows that they're not going to talk back and give their side of the story. But this is sick. Absolutely sick. Just listen close.
16-year-old Butler County girl could walk free.
Yeah, James Findley will be up for parole again soon, but if the prosecutor there has any say, he's going to be staying put in prison. Convicted killer James Findley is now 81 years old. This is his most recent photo from the Ohio Department of Corrections, where he's currently locked up in the Allen Correctional Institute in Lima. Findley has spent the majority of his life behind bars after murdering 16-year-old Cheryl Segal back in 1970. Now, more than 5 decades later, this photo of her from blockparole.com is the only image we could track down. Segal's naked body was found here on the banks of Gregory Creek in Fairfield Township. She'd been shot in the head, her throat and body slashed, and a letter Z carved into her chest.
The purpose of all of that was so he could get a patch for his motorcycle jacket for a motorcycle club that he belonged to called the Iron Horsemen, which in those days, and I believe still to this day, has a reputation for violence and criminal activity.
Butler County Prosecutor Michael Gmoser has been on the case since the very beginning. He was a law clerk when it happened and had a front row seat to Findley's trial.
So the particular case is kind of burned into my memory, which has always been pretty good anyway, but it's more so with respect to the facts of that particular case.
Findley was initially sentenced to death, but before he could be executed, the Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional. Now, every few years, Findley gets to go before the state's parole board and make his case for freedom. A plea that's been denied each time in the past and will continue to be in the future, so long as Prosecutor Gmoser has his say.
I am hopeful that they will continue to deny him parole because he is a person who really, by luck and luck alone, was able to avoid the death penalty.
This is why nobody has any trust whatsoever in the mainstream media. Nobody has any trust. You're either too far left, you're too far right, nobody's down the center, and you sensationalize everything. Everything. You don't even know if this dude's a member of the club, and I can almost guarantee he isn't. They probably got rid of him the day he was arrested for something like this. But instead, you want to drag him through the mud. Absolutely disgusting, this one. If you want to help out the show, by the way, you can do so by Cash App, $ Motorcycle Madhouse, or hit that super chat button if you're in the chat room right now. Oh, Hollywood upset about this one, man. I cannot believe that they actually did this. Let's take a further look right here on this one. You just seen the video. The man convicted of killing a 16-year-old girl decades ago is up for parole in June, but Butler County Prosecutor Michael Gmoser says he will do everything to keep the man in prison. Well, yeah, that's your job to do, but at the same point, why the hell you throwing mud at the Iron Horsemen? They had absolutely nothing to do with this. That's probably a story that he made up back then. Unbelievable, man. And he's a freak. He should die. But don't throw mud at a club, man. You know what? That's what they use. They use the media so they can get their stupid laws passed, so they get their budgets passed. And you wonder why everybody has an attitude problem against cops, against prosecutors, because it's always done in their best interest. It's never done with the truth. With the truth. The teen's body was found on the bank of Gregory Creek in Fairford Township. She had been shot in the head, slash marks across her throat, and body with a Z carved into her chest. You really think a club would stand behind a guy like that? You cannot honestly, with a straight face, tell me a club would stand behind a guy like that. Here's what they said. Quote, the purpose of all that was so that Findley could get it patched for his motorcycle jacket for a motorcycle club he belonged to called the Iron Horsemen, which in those days, I believe still today. You see what he did? You see what he did? I believe still to today had a reputation for violence and criminal activity. That might be so back then, but they sure the hell wouldn't do something like this. And you know that. You know better, but you're still going to lie about it. He goes on to say, you know, you heard it from the video. You heard it from the video. It does upset you when you see something blatant reported like this. Why couldn't you report it? Hey, this cold ass killer is coming back up for parole. You didn't have to mention the Iron Horseman, but you did that in order to build the story. And you know damn well they had nothing to do with it. But that's what you went and did. And now this is probably circulating all over their area. And people are going to look at them like, wow, this guy was a part of your club. This guy, you hung around this kind of guy. That's what you're trying to push out there. That way it holds the narrative that the feds want as well. Why do you think the feds do it? Well, you're on a gang task list. Oh, your patches show up here on a list. Come on, man. Nobody is that freaking dumb not to know what you're trying to do. Does this all come down to money here? Is that why you go after them so hard? I don't know. You guys and gals let me know, but one thing I do know, this was sick. Sick, sick, sick that they were trying to freaking put a motorcycling club in with this. Attach it to this story. The dude's probably a liar. You see what kind of brain he has, what he did, but don't put that on clubs, man. That's just sickening, man. Anyway, we're going to go to the second half of the show right now with China Doll. Don't forget to pick up the book Brotherhood and Betrayal over on Amazon and join that members only club, baby. Rock on.
Is an in-depth look at the trials and tribulations of street gang and motorcycle club life. This isn't the run-of-the-mill book that doesn't give the goods. This book will go into detail of events that actually happened. All materials in this book have been approved by those involved. There is nothing poetic, nor is there any price worth paying for the life we choose to live on the streets. James Hollywood Machikari, Brotherhood and Betrayal.
Join the Insane Throttle Members Only Club on YouTube or Spotify and receive exclusive content Monday through Friday at 9:20 a.m. Central Standard Time. Your membership in the Throttle Club helps keep the show going strong. Join our Motorcycle Madhouse Locals community and get weekly articles by Hollywood and get involved in the conversation. Punch in motorcyclemadhouse.locals.com and become a part of the community now. Rock on. Introducing the all-new service from Insane Throttle, Motorcycle Madhouse Radio. 24/7 and nothing but the best in 80s till today rock and metal, baby. And here's an added bonus. You can now listen to Motorcycle Madhouse Morning Show with Hollywood and Chinatown live on the air. Go to motorcyclemadhouse.com and bookmark the radio station and get down with the king of biker radio.